Hello and welcome to the SAT Math Calculator program for the T84 Plus CE and also your T84 Plus CE Python calculators. We're going to get started. We're going to be doing plugging in values. So that's going to be under the Algebra Equations menu, and that's going to be plugging in value option 4 there. So look, if you already know that y and f of x are interchangeable, fast forward about a minute. If you don't, just so you know, on the SAT, about 99% of the time, when it says y equals something and f of x equals something, basically it means the same thing. I don't want to get into a fight with mathematicians, but for the SAT purposes, it's about the same thing. So when I say y equals, it's going to be this part of the equation. So I'm going to do 8x, and the x, t theta n, otherwise known as a variable key, is right here in the upper left-hand portion of the keypad. And then it's raised to the third. There's another way to get there. I just don't want to get the complicated way right now. So that's 8x to the third plus 4, because that's what the equation looks like. And then it's like, oh, what is f of 2? Just for uninitiated, that means, oh, when x is 2, what is that? So we're going to do x equals 2. So then we get 68. So that one's done. Yay. And they're all going to go pretty smoothly like this. So they're not, super challenging problems. The good thing is there actually are a lot of questions like this on the SAT, which are just going to be plugging in. And you can do it by hand as well. But for those who need a little help with the algebra, we can help you out. So we're going to go back to algebra equations and then plug in a value. Now, it has this equation, d equals 30t. And again, that's kind of like saying y equals 30x, because we can't put t or d. Your calculator understands it like this. Gives a distance d in feet from road marker, that the bus will be t seconds. So that's what's going to be the variable, the t seconds. So when t equals 2 seconds here. So that's what we're trying to match up. So it's going to be y equals 30x. You already got it. You probably know this already. And then, when x equals, and we're saying t for x, we're just doing a little substitution there. So x equals 2, so we get 60, and that's our answer. Fantastic. So these are going to be pretty smooth, and then as you get more experience with them through the program available at mcstutoring.com, you'll grow to like these. Okay, so again, algebra equations, plug in a value. So we get f of x equals 270 times 0.1, that quantity to the x. So what's it going to look like for us? Y equals 270. We're going to open parentheses 0.1. And then it's going to look like this, because that's the raised to the key. This is the exponent. How are you going to get exponents here? This key raised to the, looks like an up arrow. It's a little above the division key here. When x equals 0. So we're going to plug that in, 270, open parentheses, 0.1. And just to be safe, I'm going to put it exactly how it looks. Those who are a little more familiar can probably skip a few steps, but that's cool. Raised to the x. Okay, when x equals 0, what do we have? Okay, 270. So there we go. The plugging in, this is probably the easiest part of the test to do, especially using this calculator program. So we got this f of x equals 36x plus 1,000. You already know we're going to say, that's like y equals 30. Oops, make that a 6x. Sorry for that. Okay, apologize. When x is a monthly payment, when monthly payment's 400, so we're going to plug in x equals 400. So what's the equation? 36x plus 1,000. Just make sure we got the right number of zeros here. 300, 300. We're good. What does x equal? 400. Okay, 15,400. There we go. So it does work also if we raise anything to a power, just so you know. Okay, and this next one, the graphs of the equation, the given system of equations intersect at the point xy in the xy plane was the value of y. Now, you could say this is a system of equations. That's true. But what we're going to do is treat it like a plug in a value, because we're saying, y equals this thing. So, and you don't need to rewrite this, but I'm just doing this to help out. Y equals x squared plus 8. And what's the x value? X equals 8. So you see, it's just written a little differently. So we're going to do x. And by the way, the squared key is right here. So it goes x squared plus 8. And what happens when x equals 8? There we go. 72. Bam. There we go. This can't be the end of everything. Okay, we must have skipped a lot of... We did. We skipped the easy questions. Sorry about that. Okay, we started with the hard ones. My apologies. Okay, going to go to algebra equations. Plug in a value. So these are going to be easy peasy. So we get f of x equals 7x plus 1. So you guys know that is going to be y equals 7x plus 1. And then it's with x managers. What happens? We have 7 managers. That means x equals 7. So get the equation. 7x plus 1. What happens when x equals 7? There we go. It's 50. Okay, cool. And I think we're almost half done here, which is good. And it's good to get real practice problems, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I've got the SAT test with just like the real practice problems." Now, I mean, you can go to Blue Book or you can go to College Board and get old copies or practice copies. They're going to most accurately reflect the test. Anybody who says otherwise, I just don't believe. I've been in the game. I've been in the game so long, I don't believe these people. Okay, so we're going to go to plug-in value here. So get y equals 5x plus 10. There we go. And what happens when x equals 8? See? It's that easy. Okay, we got this next one. We've got functions defined by the equation. Now it says f of x equals 7x plus 2. You already know that's going to be y equals 7x plus 2. Sorry, it looks like a J. We're going to do that y. And then x equals 4. So we're going to go back to plug in a value. And we get 7x plus 2. What happens when x equals 4? And we get 30. 30 is our answer there. Okay, good. Love it. Love it. Okay, good. Next one's pretty easy too. Going to algebra equations, plug in a value. By the time you buy this program, because it's August 10th right now, I know you guys have the SAT coming up in less than 2 weeks. I'll probably have a new version, which will just keep on going back to the plug-in value menu after this. In any case, we have this equation, y equals 40 plus 3x. Again, I'm substituting values in here, y equals. T seconds after you can accelerate. What happens when t is 5? It's in the car 5 seconds, so t equals 5, which means for us x equals 5. So we're going to do this 40 plus 3x, x equals 5. So we're going to do 40 plus 3x. There we go. What happens when x equals 5? And there we go, 55. Bam. That's the speed. Okay. I got this other one. Now look, this one is legitimately a little more challenging because it is what they call a rational expression. Some people might call it a fractional expression. So get h of x equals this. So I'm going to write it as y equals 8 over 5x plus 6. But look, just so you know, this is important here. I'm going to write it as y equals 8 divided by the way, fraction is an unfinished division problem. So it's really 8 divided by this 5x plus 6. But to be super careful, this 5x plus 6, this denominator, this expression, I'm going to enclose in parentheses. So we're going to do that. 8 divided by parentheses. And then if you skip the parentheses and you get it wrong, don't blame me. I'm warning you here, you know. So there we go. And then, oh, what happens? H of 2. That means x when x equals 2. So x equals 2. There we go. 0.5, 0.5. So, and if they had, for instance, fraction values, instead of 0.5, you could have chosen 1/2. Same thing. And there's a fraction converter section on this calculator. You could say I have it in other videos. Okay, again, algebra equations. Okay, wow, we have something raised to the third power. So we're going to write y equals x raised to the third plus 15. I know smarty pants are going to comment that there's another way to do this. I'm just showing you easiest way for those unfamiliar with the calculator keypad. And then what happens when x equals 2? So we're going to go to plug in a value. And what's the equation? It's going to be x raised to the third and then plus 15. And then what happens when x equals 2? There we go. It's 23. Oh, man. This is awesome. We just have hopefully a handful left. We'll see. Okay. Again, algebra equations, plug in a value. So our y equals 4x minus 3, because that's what our f of x equals. What's the value of f of 10? That means, oh, x equals 10. That's what all this means. F of 10 is what's the function value when x equals this number. Or it could be another variable, but we're just using x for our sakes. Okay, so 4x minus 3, and then x equals 10. And we get 37. Fantastic. We're just moving right along. Okay. Now, again, algebra equations, plug in a value. Functions defined by f of x equals 1/2 of the quantity x plus 6. What's the value of f of 4? So again, you know we're going to do y equals 1/2. I'm going to just write it as 1 divided by 2. Okay, might seem funky. I'm putting that in parentheses, times x plus 6. Also, you could say, 1 divided by 2, you could do 0.5 in front of the parentheses. That'd be easy too. And then we're going to say x equals 4 because f of x, or f of 4, sorry. So I'm going to do that just to be totally careful. I'm just being paranoid almost right here. 1 divided by 2 times quantity x plus 6. And then x equals 4. And we get 5. Okay, there we go. There's our answer. Okay. Oh, just a few left. Oh my goodness. That's so awesome. Okay. Function gives the monthly fee f of x in dollars of a facility charges to keep x crates in storage. What's the monthly fee in dollars the facility charges to keep 50 crates in storage? So you already know, like, we're going to make this f of x into a y equals. So y equals 45x plus 600. And x is the number of crates. And by the way, we're going to say x equals 50 here. So x equals 50. Okay, so again, algebra equations, plug in a value. So it's going to be 45x plus 600. And then x equals 50. There we go. 2850 is our answer. Okay, now we've got the penultimate question, which means second to last question. That used to be on the SAT back in the day. Okay, functions defined by f of x equals x squared plus x plus 71. So we're just going to write it as y equals x squared plus x plus 71. And again, you guys already know f of 2. Oh, that means x equals 2. So we're going to go do algebra equations, plug in a value, and we're going to write it as x squared, or render it as x squared plus x plus 71. It's a little more complicated because we have like an x squared term here. That might throw you off. And then we have x equals 2. And there we go, 77. Everybody's happy. Last question of the day. Oh, okay, it's a doozy because it's a fractional thing. We're going to go to algebra equations again, solve. And we're going to write it as y equals x plus, and what did we say fractions are? They're unfinished division problems. Okay. And then x equals 3 divided by 11. Okay, great. So we got y equals x plus 8 divided by 11. There we go. And then what does x equal? Oh, 3 divided by 11. Bam. It's 1. And we're done for the day. So look, again, available at mcstutoring.com. Check the site. There's almost always a discount going on. So if you complain about the price in the comments, that means you're not looking at the site closely. That's okay. Because look, it's a life lesson, not just in life, but yeah, for sure in the SAT. Be careful. Make sure you're answering the question that they ask. That's a freebie. But look, good luck. If you like it, like it. If you have questions, post them. And check out the site. We got a lot more programs besides the SAT math. You need help in physics or chemistry, we got you covered. And then if you have anything you want to add or take away from this SAT math calculator program, let me know. I do oblige. And look, good luck on your next SAT. I'll see you next time.